Hello, my lovelies. It is time for another round of TBR Topple, so stay tuned. So this round of TBR Topple is going to be a little bit different than the previous ones. And this is actually going to be the last TBR Topple probably for a couple of months. I'm sorry. But we have recently decided that we are moving, and we're going to be moving back into the house we lived in before this, which I'm very, very excited about because, for one, I'll have my library back and have all my books in one room. So I don't need to continue necessarily organizing these shelves because I'm about to pack up the books to take somewhere else. But I do want to get them in as much of an order as I possibly can before they get packed away. So let me show you what the shelves look like right now. Okay, so far we have the entire top 2 rows and most of the 3rd row all nice and neat and organized. Today we're going to be starting on that one right there. And I have a lot to go through. So here's what the plan is. So I'm going to start with that first shelf, and if there are any books excess that need to roll over to the next shelf, I'm going to see if I can find an audiobook of one of them. If I can, then I'm going to pick that book and I'm going to start listening to it and continue working on the shelves and kind of make it go through that way. And then when I get through with that audiobook, I can, whatever shelf I'm working on, or I don't even know if I'm going to work on the shelves. Maybe I'll work on the shelves. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever shelf I'm working on at that time that I finish the audiobook, then I will go on to the next. But I do need to get some stuff done around the house. Like I'm trying to get things packed and just, there's a lot to do. So let me turn this camera around and let's organize that shelf. Okay, so here is the shelf we're starting on today. Let me start by moving all the things that are not books off of it. Okay. Okay, so I actually have 5 books that don't fit on that shelf. So we have 1,000 Ships by Natalie Hayes, Stone Blind by Natalie Hayes, Dead End Girls by Wendy Hurd, House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson, and Meet in a Mile by Elizabeth Harib. So I'm going to look on Libby and see if I can find an audiobook for any of these. I'll be right back. Okay, so the one I was able to find is 1,000 Ships by Natalie Hayes. This says, "This is the women's war just as much as it is the men's. They have waited long enough for their turn. This was never the story of one woman or two. It was the story of all of them. In the middle of the night, a woman wakes to find her beloved city engulfed in flames. 10 seemingly endless years of conflict between the Greeks and the Trojans are over. Troy has fallen. From the Trojan women whose fates now lie in the hands of the Greeks to the Amazon princess who fought Achilles on their behalf, from Penelope awaiting the return of Odysseus to the 3 goddesses whose feud started it all, these are the stories of the women whose lives, loves, and rivalries were forever altered by history's most infamous war. A women's epic powerfully imbued with a new life, 1,000 Ships puts the women, girls, and goddesses at their center in the Western world's greatest tale ever told." So this is what I will be listening to while I continue working. And I'll probably show you me organizing my shelves as I'm listening. unfortunately now all of these, there's so many that have to get moved down to the next shelf. It's getting a little crazy. I'm thinking maybe what I should do at this point is maybe start packing up the rows that are complete. That way when I do need to put things over, I'll have an empty one on that end. So let me go get a box set up. I'll be back. So I had a really long break there. During the time I was taking a break, I was going to get some lunch, and before that, Xander's girlfriend called, and she had been in an accident on the interstate, and she was freaking out. And so I was trying to help her, like who to call and all that stuff. Fortunately, she was fine, and surprisingly, her car is fine. What happened was the car in front of her, it was going a little bit faster than she was. They started hydroplaning, and she went to get over to avoid anything with like hitting them. And when she got over, she lost control because it's like raining like crazy. And so she lost control, and she ended up hitting the concrete divider, and amazingly, like, she did not destroy her car. It has a few scratches down the side. Her rim is pretty scratched up on both of her driver's side tires, but other than that, her car is great. And it took her a long time to calm down, though. She was definitely upset, and she didn't know who else to call, and she called us because she's like, she knew her mom wouldn't be able to even tell her what to do. And so she called Xander, and they got me on the phone. And so I was trying to calm her down and help her. Also, a Walmart order came. Well, part of my Walmart order came, and so I've been doing that. And then I got lunch. So now I'm ready to start packing up some of these. I put together one box. I only have 4 of these small boxes left, which is part of what's supposed to be coming in my Walmart order that hasn't arrived yet. So I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to get packed up. As far as the book goes, I'm not really super into it. I'm not necessarily disliking it, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting into it. It's a little dull for me. I am 33% of the way through it. But so I'm going to keep listening. Do I want to keep listening though? I could be listening to something else that I'm more interested in. Maybe I should do that. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to DNF 1,000 ships just because it's fine to listen to, but I'm not invested at all. Okay, so as I mentioned on that last shelf, all of these have to get moved over to the next shelf. So I think I'm going to return this and see one of these I can get an audiobook for. Okay, I just picked what looked like the smallest book, which is Luster by Raven Leilani, and it just so happens that it is available on Libby. So this is the next thing I'm going to be listening to. This says, "No one wants what no one wants. And how do we even know what we want? How do we know we're ready to take it? Eddie is stumbling through her 20s, sharing a subpar apartment in Bushwick, clocking in and out of her admin job, making a series of inappropriate sexual choices. She's also haltingly, fitfully giving heat and air to the art that simmers inside her. And then she meets Eric, a digital archivist with a family in New Jersey, including an autopsist wife who has agreed to an open marriage with rules. As if navigating the constantly shifting landscapes of contemporary sexual manners and racial politics weren't hard enough, Eddie finds herself unemployed and invited into Eric's home, though not by Eric. She becomes a hesitant ally to his wife and a de facto role model to his adopted daughter. Eddie may be the only black woman young Akila knows. Irresistibly unruly and strikingly beautiful, razor sharp and slyly comic, sexually charged and utterly absorbing, Raven Leilani's Luster is a portrait of a young woman trying to make sense of her life, her hunger, her anger in a tumultuous era. It's also a haunting, aching depiction of how hard it is to believe in your own talent and of the unexpected influences that bring us into ourselves. Okay, so this is what I'm going to listen to now. And I'm going to get to work on packing up some of these books. So I'm now out of the small boxes, so I'm going to have to wait on doing this until I get more. Let me see where I am in the book. I'm 12% in. I don't really know how I'm feeling about this one either. It's just like pretty much this girl talking about her sexual conquests and fails and getting ready to get like hook up with this married man, and I don't know. I'm not really feeling this one either. I'll give it a little bit longer just to see if it gets better, but right now I'm not feeling it. I think I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to go and work on packing up something else, and I'll come back and check in with you later about this book. Okay, I am also not feeling Luster at all. The whole thing is just toxic. So yes, he's in an open relationship. There are rules that they're supposed to be following. They don't follow the rules. They end up having sex at, like, in his house, in their bed. She shows, because she now knows where he lives, she shows up at his house one day and, like, just lets herself in because she doesn't think anybody's home. And the wife is there. And then she ends up, like, the wife wants her to come to this party that night, and it's like it's their 14-year anniversary or something like that. He gets mad and goes to take her home. He tells her that he feels like hitting her, and she's like, go ahead. And so he does, and then she's like, harder, and he hits her again, and then they do it in the car. It's like, I'm just not feeling this book at all. So I looked on Libby, and I was able to find X's and O's by Amy Lee. This says, Tara Chen has had her heart broken 10 times by 10 different men. Nevertheless, she's still determined to find her perfect match. The only problem, Tara is a romance novel, obsessive, and her standards are sky high. Modern dating apps have killed the meet cute, so Tara decides to revisit her exes in the hopes of finding her very own trope-worthy second chance romance. And every heroine needs a sidekick, so she enlists her new flatmate, firefighter Trevor. Trevor Metcalf is the first to rush into a burning building, but the last to rush into a relationship. Love just isn't his thing. But the more time they spend together, the more Trevor appreciates Tara's authentic, dramatic self. Can they break the habits of a lifetime and give their spark a chance? I'm hoping that I actually do end up enjoying this one. So there are a couple of good blurbs. Beth O'Leary says, the perfect book to lift your spirits. And Sarah Adams says, the tension is chef's kiss. So hopefully I enjoy this. I need something that I'm actually going to enjoy. But so far it is not going well. Okay, so I'm only about 10% into the book and I'm already enjoying it much more. Also, my delivery came, so I have boxes. So I'm going to continue working on packing this stuff up and listening to this book.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Oh no,
Okay, I think I'm ready to go back to tackling fixing up the shelves. Also, I'm about halfway through X's and O's. This is super cute. So she's decided she's gonna go on a quest to like have a second chance for romance, and she's going back and like trying to meet up with all of her past exes and see if maybe something's changed and they can reconnect and whatever. But also, she has a roommate, and he is pretty much a sexy firefighter, and he's not one for relationships. However, they seem to be very quickly forming a very, very close friendship, and I have a feeling it's going to be more, and I'm loving it. So I just finished X's and O's by Amy Lee, I think it was. And I really, really enjoyed it. It was super cute. She has a channel, like a YouTube or TikTok or something like that channel that's bookish. Her grandmother, Flo, like Grandma Flo, is also like a bookstagrammer, I guess, and like books and knitting, and it's very cute. She is all about, like, our main character, she's all about romance novels and all of that, and she's like wanting that meet cute, and at the very beginning of the book she thinks she's having it, only to find out she got mugged. And her grandma is like remarried, and like after her grandfather passed away, her grandmother ended up reconnecting with an old flame from long, long ago, from like elementary school, and they're now together, which kind of inspires our main character to, which my brain has just like Jennifer, that's her name, is inspired her to reconnect with her exes and see if maybe she can have a second chance romance like her grandma. And this is following a pretty nasty breakup with a doctor that she works with. She is a nurse and does like NICU care in the hospital. And they were engaged to be married, and he called it off and started seeing somebody else like immediately, which he was having an affair. Anyway, she moves out and she has this roommate, Trevor, who's hot fireman, and he essentially tries to kind of life coach her. Though the day she arrives at this new apartment, she walks in and he's completely naked doing a girl on the kitchen counter. And he's like Playboy. He only does one night stands. He does not really do relationships. And they become quick friends, and he tries to kind of help her through this process of her going through the exes and everything. But throughout it, their friendship grows and grows, and it's adorable, and I loved it. I think I'm giving this one 4 stars. So I think it's after 11 now. Yeah, a little bit after 11. I'm tired. I've been going all day. I've got a lot of these shelves packed away. How many boxes do I have here? I have 19 of these small boxes. So this is the next shelf that would be packed away. And I was looking on Libby, and Breathless by Jennifer Niven is the next one I was able to get an audiobook of. This says, before, with graduation on the horizon, budding writer Claudine Henry is focused on 3 things: college in the fall, becoming a famous author, and the ever-elusive possibility of sex. She doesn't even need to be in love. Sex is all she's looking for. Then her dad drops a bombshell. He and Claude's mom are splitting up. Suddenly, Claude's entire world feels like a lie, and the ground under her feet anything but stable. After, Claude's mom whisks them both away to a remote mosquito-infested island off the coast of Georgia, a place where the two of them can start the painful process of mending their broken hearts. It's the last place Claude can imagine finding her footing, but then Jeremiah Crew happens. Maya is a local trail guide with a passion for photography and a past he doesn't like to talk about. He's brash and enigmatic, and even more infuriatingly, he's the only one who seems to see Claude for who she wants to be. So when Claude decides to sleep with Maya, she tells herself it's just sex, exactly what she has planned. There isn't enough time to fall in love, especially if it means putting her already broken heart at risk. Compulsively readable and impossible to forget, Jennifer Niven's luminous new novel is an insightful portrait of a young woman determined to write her own next chapter. Sex, resilience, mosquito bites, and all. So, this is the next thing I'm going to be listening to, though I think I'm going to wait until tomorrow to get started on it. And now we'll continue with the sorting and the packing of these shelves. Yeah, it's a lot. Good morning. It is day 2 of TBR Topple and packing up all of this stuff. So yesterday the SD card I was using filled up, and I do need to empty that just in case this one fills up too. And I need to continue with packing all of this up, which you can't see much, but there's still like this whole row all the way across and the bottom row all the way across, as well as these here. And I think it's Breathless to listen to. Yes, by Jennifer Niven. So that one is a longer audiobook than any of the others so far. So that might take me most of the day to get through. So I'm going to start listening to that, and once I get to working on this, I'll turn the camera back on and time lapse all that for you.
lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed in my arms. You're safe and sound without a threat, and I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed in my arms. You're safe and sound without a threat, and I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. A little bit high, a little bit low, completely alone.
Good morning. So yesterday, as you saw, I finished all of the books in here, and I went and I started working on other rooms and packing up in there. And I wore myself out yesterday. And by the time I finished the book, it was around maybe around 8 o'clock. And at that point in time, I was both physically exhausted and emotionally exhausted. This book, it hit a little close to home for a few things, and I don't know if this was just the writing or, the fact that it did hit so close to home for me that wrecked me so much, or maybe it was a combination of the both. But our main character, Claude, or Claudine, she is in her senior year of high school, and like 5 days or something like that before graduation, before this, she's getting ready to go on this road trip with her best friend, and she's kind of obsessing over this one boy that she's had a crush on for like ever, and she breaks up with the boy that she's been going out with because he's kind of a douche and keeps pushing her to do something that she's not ready to do, with him at least. And if anybody she wants to lose that to is this one particular boy that she's crushed on forever. But then 5 days before graduation, her dad tells her that him and her mom are splitting up. And because her parents are such close friends with her best friend's parents that he doesn't want her to say anything to anyone. And so she's struggling with keeping this secret from her best friend, who she tells everything to, and not having anybody to talk to about what's going on. And the road trip that she has planned with her best friend's not going to happen. Her mom and her are going to be, right after graduation, leaving to go to this little island off the coast of Georgia. And she's not thrilled about it. And she's struggling with everything that's going on with her parents and just life as she knows it, and kind of hoping that this is all a temporary thing. And her dad tells her that, there's not anybody else or anything like that. It's just he doesn't want a family anymore. And her parents have been married for like 20 years. And she takes this as, he doesn't want her, he doesn't want her mom, none of that. And they're being cast away. And why do they have to leave? And he doesn't. And it was his decision to break up their family. And he lied. There was somebody else. And he has this new girlfriend. And he was cheating on her mom with somebody from his work. And that's a whole nother different level of things that she's struggling with. And while she's on this island, she does end up meeting this boy that she falls head over heels for. And there's some tension and drama there. And she does end up losing her virginity to this boy. But also, they both know that this is like a limited time. He's got a lot of things going on, like with his past and with his family, and they're both only supposed to be at this island for a set amount of time. She's only supposed to be there for 35 days, and then going home and kind of, I guess, figuring out life before she goes off to college. And she's struggling with the whole college thing because her and her best friend were supposed to go to the same school, and now they're going to different schools. And as she falls for this boy, knowing that it's not going to last, and the heartbreak of saying goodbye to your first love and all of that. And then at the very end of the book, there's an author's note. And the author's note really got me. because this was like pretty much a true story. And I mean, I'm sure some things were fictionalized, but it was her story. And she was Claude in this, and you know, her parents pretty much did that exact same thing to her 5 days before graduation. And they did go, they didn't go to an island, but she did end up like they went away for a while in the same kind of situation. Though when she discovered this particular island and went there to kind of write this book, and while she was there, she met this boy, and this boy is now her husband, and he was the Jeremiah or Maya of this story. And it was all very sweet and heartbreaking and sad. So once I finished the book, I really, I was not in a good place to talk about it. And as I said, I was both physically and emotionally exhausted. So I ended up going to bed really, really early, and I just figured I would come and I would talk to you this morning and tell you about the book. And as you saw, I did finish getting all of my books packed up. I've been packing books in other rooms too, so literally everything, I think all of the books that I'm going to be packing are now packed. So this will be the end of this round of TBR Topple. Oh, and I should say, I'm giving Breathless, I'm going to give it 4 stars. And this will be the last TBR Topple for a little while until I start getting my books on my shelves in the new house. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye.